Hey guys, welcome back. So in this lecture we're going to be going over switch statements. So switch statements are very similar to if-else statements, but they make it a little easier to write out these if-else statements if the chain of them gets too long. So just to show you what I mean really quickly, suppose we had something pretty complicated, like if the person's age is equal to 30, then tell them you are now an old man. If the age is equal to 20, then we can say you are also now an old man. But then we could say if the age is equal to 10, then we can okay, so now using what we learned in our last video, we know that we can simplify this to else-if statements. So it would look something like this. But you can quickly see that this is becoming a little convoluted, right? Suppose we had 10 different cases. Suppose we had 30, 20, 10, 50, 1,000, etc., etc. Well, that could get unwieldy pretty quickly. And so this is where the switch statement comes in handy. The switch statement, it does the same thing here. You pass in this value inside this key. You pass in a value, I should say, inside of this key parameter. So let's say that we pass in a value 3. Inside of each of these cases, we compare the passed in value to the value of the case. So in this case, let's say that the case value is 4. So what we're doing is we're passing in a value 3. Then we check to see if 3 is equal to 4. Is 3 equal to 4? No, so we're not going to do anything inside of our case statement. But suppose we had another case statement like this. So what this is doing is we're passing in 3. 3 is not equal to 4, so we're not going to do anything inside of our case statement. Well, is 3 equal to 3? Yes, it is. So we're going to execute whatever is inside of this case statement. We are now inside case 2. And so we'll see that. Just to prove that we're not going inside of this one, let's print it out. Or let's try to print something out. We are now inside case 1. Okay, so yeah, good. We're still in case 2. Okay, so notice something a little interesting here though. There's this break statement. So what is the break statement of? What does it do? The best way to see what it does is to look at an example where we don't use it. Okay, so if we were to do this, case 5. Let's try to print something out. Case 5. Okay, so yeah, we get exactly the same thing as we had before. Now let's remove the break statement. If we remove it, so now interestingly enough, we'll see that we're going to go inside two of these case statements. So first, we're gonna pass in a value 3. Is 3 equal to 4? No. So we're not going to do anything inside of here. Is 3 equal to 3? Yes. So we're going to do this first condition, or we're going to execute this first line. So we're going to get we are inside case 2. But now, because we don't have the break statement, we're not going to be doing any more checking, basically. So by default, we're just going to jump straight into this case right here without actually checking to see if 3 is equal to 5. So 3 is not equal to 5, but because we didn't have the break statement, we're going to be going inside of here. So it's a little counterintuitive, right? Like why aren't we checking to see if 3 is equal to 5 if we were doing that up here? Well, there's really no simple answer. It's just a feature of the language, and I guess you should just get in the habit of using the break statement. One possible use for why you would want to do this, let me show you with our previous example. So suppose that if we're going to print out you are an old man if the user is 30, or if the user is perhaps, I don't know, 50. So if the user is 30 or 50, then we're going to print out this statement right here. Well, how exactly would we do that with this switch statement? Well, we could do case 30. So we're going to be passing in this age as our variable to check. If the user is 30, then we're going to do, let's just print this out right here. You are an old man. Okay, but now suppose we would want to do the same thing for a case of 50 because up here we're doing if we're using an or. So we could do it like this. And this is going to work fine. The problem is we're being redundant. We're repeating this line twice. Up here we're only basically saying it once, but down here we're executing it, or we're writing it multiple times. And this becomes a problem if you have lots and lots of stuff inside of these if statements, or in this case inner side of our case statement. And you never want to repeat any code when you're programming. So it can kind of be resolved by a hack, basically. So what we want is we only want to print out "you are an old man" once. So consider what would happen if I just commented this line out. So now suppose we pass in a value of 30 for our age. So age is equal to 30. So if the age is equal to 30, then we're going to go inside of this case statement. Well, we're not really doing anything inside of our case statement, but we don't have a break statement. Because we don't have a break statement, then we're going to jump into this next statement immediately. So now we're going to print out this right here. Even though 30 isn't equal to 50, we're still going to execute the thing inside here because we don't have a break statement. So now we run, and you see "you are now an old man." So why are we seeing this twice? Because age is equal to 30 up here, I believe. Yeah, so let's comment that out. And so now "you are an old man." Okay, so that's our introduction to the switch statement. I'll see you guys in the next lecture.